What if everything you believe about reality, your home, your job, even your name, isn't what it seems? Right now, you look around and see a world that feels solid, stable, and predictable. Yet countless mystics, scientists, and visionaries throughout history have insisted otherwise. That life is more like a cleverly woven illusion than a straightforward, unchanging fact. They claim there's a hidden truth just beneath the surface, one so shocking it could turn your entire existence upside down if you ever uncovered it. But here's the twist: not everyone wants you to find out. Whether it's due to ignorance, power, or profit, society is built to keep this secret under wraps. That's why you're bombarded with endless distractions, news cycles, social media, streaming platforms, and countless responsibilities. It's all designed to keep you asleep, confined to the boundaries of what you're told to believe. Yet, if you dare to look closer, you may discover something unimaginable: that your sense of separation and limitation is a mask worn by something infinite. It's time to awaken. But be warned, once you see the cracks in the illusion, there's no going back. The Great Deception. Picture this. You're living your life, day by day, convinced that the world around you is exactly as it appears. But under the surface, a silent force is shaping how you perceive everything. Some call it social conditioning, others name it social programming, and mystics refer to it as Maya, a term suggesting that the world is not exactly false, but it's not entirely real either. From the moment you're born, your family, friends, and culture mold your concept of reality. You learn what to value and what to ignore. You learn how to label yourself with a name, a nationality, a set of beliefs. You learn to trust your five senses as though they're reliable witnesses of the truth, even though your senses only report a fraction of what's truly out there. Think about it. Your eyes can't see Wi-Fi signals, X-rays, or infrared light, yet they still exist in the same space you inhabit. Similarly, your ears can't pick up ultrasound or infrasound frequencies, though many animals rely on these vibrations daily. Your body floats in an ocean of energy, but you interpret only a narrow band. Then, ironically, you say, "This is reality." Now here's the real shocker. Some argue that certain powerful groups, governmental, corporate, even hidden networks, benefit from keeping you locked in a narrowly defined world. They want obedient consumers, not free-thinking explorers. They want you focused on the next gadget, the next news headline, the next fleeting controversy, so you'll never pause to wonder if something else lies beneath the surface. But that's just the beginning. Your senses are tricking you. You often rely on your five senses to tell you what is real. But your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin aren't neutral observers. They filter, distort, and sometimes outright lie. Each sense is more of an interpreter than a reporter, reducing the infinite complexity of the universe into a simplified feed your brain can handle. In the realm of neuroscience, researchers have discovered that your brain regularly fills in gaps in your vision. There's even a blind spot in each eye that your brain just paints over. Did you notice? Probably not. That's just one of many illusions created by your cognitive system. Then there's the matter of time. Have you ever been so bored that a minute feels like an hour, or so excited that hours pass in what seems like seconds? Time itself feels elastic because your perception of it can change drastically. Some scientists argue that chronological time isn't as linear as we think. It's our minds that cut it up into past, present, and future. In other words, we're walking illusions, perceiving illusions, labeling them as absolute truth. So the next time you trust your senses, remember, they're giving you a filtered version, not the raw, unedited reality. Still, there's more to uncover. The puzzle of consciousness. Let's delve deeper. If your senses aren't the ultimate gatekeepers of truth, then who or what is perceiving this so-called reality? Philosophers have debated consciousness for centuries, and modern science still can't entirely explain it. One minute, you're sure your thoughts are your own. The next, you're questioning whether they arise from something bigger. For instance, consider those moments when you have a sudden flash of insight, a random hunch that proves correct, or an eerie sense of déjà vu that leaves you wondering if you've lived this exact moment before. Could it be that consciousness isn't confined to your skull, but stretches into a collective pool that connects everyone and everything? In many spiritual traditions, consciousness is likened to a vast ocean, with individual minds appearing like waves. Each wave seems distinct, but in truth, they share the same water. Modern quantum theories hint at something similar, that behind the apparent separation of objects lies a quantum field with no clear boundaries. If any of that is true, then the implications are enormous. You're not an isolated being, you're part of a unified whole, like a single thread in an endless tapestry. The illusions you cling to, including, I am separate, might be illusions within illusions. Realizing this, even for a split second, can be disorienting. But it can also be the most liberating discovery of your life. But hold on, there's more. The forbidding gatekeepers. Civilizations across history have had institutions that claim to hold the keys to knowledge. Some of these are religious bodies, others are political or corporate powers, and some are rumored secret societies that remain in the shadows. They shape how information is distributed, how history is written, and what truths become mainstream. Have you ever wondered why certain texts are censored, or certain historical figures are portrayed only in a specific light? Why rumors swirl around the accidental demise of individuals who dig too deep, or how entire communities have been systematically silenced across the centuries? Some might say these are baseless conspiracies. Others whisper about hidden forces that manipulate from behind the scenes. For instance, you've probably heard stories about influential people meeting under secret circumstances. Dark suits in closed rooms deciding policy. Tech moguls shaping global thought by controlling algorithms. Hollywood gatekeepers pushing certain narratives while burying others. The questions are endless. Are these just coincidences? Are they orchestrated by higher powers with an agenda? If a fraction of these rumors are true, it only emphasizes how meticulously the illusion is woven. Every system from education to entertainment could be part of the grand design to keep you from stumbling upon a deeper truth. The last thing they want is for you to realize how powerful you truly are. But wait, there's a twist to all of this. The fragmented self. Most people go their entire lives without questioning who they really are. You might say, I'm John, or I'm Maria, referencing your name. You might list your profession, your hobbies, your family ties. But is any of that the real you, or just labels you've been assigned? In many mystical traditions, there's a concept that the self is not a thing. It's an ever-changing process. Your thoughts, emotions, and body shift moment to moment. What you call you is less like a solid statue and more like a flickering flame, constantly dancing and never the same from one instant to the next. But there's something even deeper beneath the flickering flame, a formless awareness that experiences the thoughts, feelings, and sensations but is not defined by them. Some call it the soul, others call it pure consciousness, and others simply refer to it as the witness. When you drop your usual mental chatter and peer inward, you might sense this silent, spacious presence that's always there. If you identify with your ego, the shifting roles and labels, you remain trapped in the illusions of success and failure, happiness and sorrow, belonging and alienation. Yet if you realize that beneath all the identities lies an unchanging awareness, you begin to unshackle yourself from these illusions. Curious? Let's keep going. Shattering the chains, high retention techniques. To break free from illusions, you need more than just intellectual understanding. You need a direct experience of something beyond your everyday perception. This is where techniques like meditation, introspection, and certain forms of breathwork become crucial. These aren't just spiritual platitudes, they're practical tools used by millions around the world. In meditation, you focus your mind until the usual stream of thoughts begins to slow, eventually revealing a stillness underneath. That stillness is like stepping behind the scenes of a theatrical play. When the spotlight dims, you discover that there's much more happening than what's on stage. Breathwork can induce states where your ordinary sense of self dissolves, giving you a fleeting but powerful glimpse of unfiltered reality. Some say these states can be intimidating, because they challenge everything you believe about who you are and how the world works. Rumors abound about mystics who, off themselves, or individuals who, deed on substances that break down mental barriers too quickly. These are extreme paths that can be damaging without proper guidance. Yet they underscore the potency of directly confronting the illusion. So if you decide to embark on this path, tread carefully. Seek reliable mentors, balanced perspectives, and remember that true awakening is less about escaping life's problems and more about seeing through them. But there's still more to uncover. The controversies and rumors that fuel the fire. You might be wondering, why is there so much drama and secrecy if this truth is out there for anyone to find? The answer could lie in controversies and rumors swirling around those who get too close. Consider whistleblowers who vanish without a trace, celebrities who hint at hidden knowledge then go silent, or ancient texts that disappear from archives. Some believe there's a coordinated effort to maintain ignorance. Perhaps these hidden controllers fear that if too many people wake up, the entire system, based on consumerism, conflict, and hierarchical power, would collapse. Suddenly, people wouldn't be so easy to manipulate with fear or greed if they realized their deepest essence can't be controlled. Others brush off such talk as baseless paranoia. But remember, history is full of once ridiculed conspiracies that later turned out to be true. Ultimately, it's up to you to do the research, observe the patterns, and trust your instincts. Where there's smoke, there's often a fire burning beneath the surface. Yet the biggest threat to your awakening might not be mysterious overlords or hush-hush societies. It might be your own reluctance to let go of comfortable illusions. After all, illusions can be cozy, especially if they spare you from facing life's deeper questions. Ready for another layer? The modern maze and its traps. Look at the modern world. It's a labyrinth of endless scrolling, 24/7 news cycles, and dopamine hits from likes and comments. You might think that technology liberates you, providing boundless information and opportunities. Yet, ironically, it can also be your biggest snare. Algorithms are designed to show you what you want to see or, more accurately, what keeps you hooked. Echo chambers form around you, reinforcing your existing beliefs and stifling any radical shift in perspective. You remain trapped in a bubble, thinking you're exploring the world when, in reality, you're just circling around the same ideas. Meanwhile, real-world problems, environmental crises, social injustices, existential threats, take a backseat because everyone's too busy chasing the next momentary thrill. Before you know it, days turn into years, and you're left with the uneasy feeling that you're missing something fundamental. The hidden truths remain hidden, and the cycle of illusion continues, but let's not lose hope just yet. Beyond the illusion, the formless mystery. Now, let's circle back to the core idea, the formless essence that underlies everything. If you strip away all forms, names, stories, and beliefs, something remains. That something has been called God, consciousness, the Tao, or simply, the formless. It's not a deity in the sense of a cosmic authority figure. It's more like the endless ocean of being from which all waves, objects, thoughts, and lives arise. When you truly sense this formless presence within yourself, it feels like coming home to a place you forgot existed. Gone is the separation between me and everything else. The illusions of grandeur or despair dissolve into a simple, profound sense that you're part of an infinite tapestry. In that moment, controversies about who's controlling whom become less frightening because you see that all manipulations happen on the surface, while your essence remains untouchable. This realization doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent to the world's injustices. On the contrary, it can inspire compassionate action, driven by a genuine wish to alleviate suffering for all beings who remain caught in illusions. And that action can be revolutionary, because it's not fueled by fear or craving, but by clarity and love. And there's one final revelation to tie it all together. Waking up for real. The biggest hurdle in waking up isn't a secret society, a corporate giant, or even your phone's addictive feed, it's you. More specifically, it's your own hesitation to question everything you hold dear. It's never easy to face the possibility that your world, your identity, and your beliefs might be partial truths at best. But the moment you choose to see beyond them, the illusion starts to unravel. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of baby steps, asking a new question each day, pausing to reflect on whether your anxieties are illusions, trying small meditation practices, or just sitting in stillness for a minute. Step by step, illusions weaken, giving way to clarity. Eventually, you reach a tipping point. A moment of insight that can't be explained by logic alone. You realize that you never were just a separate self. In that instant, everything shifts. Life still goes on, bills to pay, relationships to maintain, but now you navigate these waters with a deeper awareness that can't be taken away. That's real freedom, and it's the last thing the guardians of illusion want you to discover. Final thoughts. You've just taken a whirlwind tour through some of the most guarded secrets of existence. From the fragility of the senses to the shape-shifting nature of self, from hidden controllers to the infinite presence that connects us all. This script reveals a tapestry of mysteries that many prefer to ignore. But knowledge alone doesn't shatter illusions. You have to do the inner work. So here's the ultimate challenge. Will you keep sleeping, content in a dream that may be comforting but ultimately empty? Or will you open your eyes, step beyond the boundaries of what you thought was real, and see things as they truly are? Some say that once you start seeing the cracks, the entire structure will eventually come undone. If that prospect excites you more than it frightens you, then you're already on your way. Remember, illusions only hold power as long as you believe in them. Once you question them, they begin to collapse under their own weight. Whether you call it waking up, enlightenment, or merely returning to your true nature, the process is the same. Shedding layers of deception until what remains is the simplest, purest truth of all. And in that truth, nothing is separate, nothing is small, and nothing is impossible.